time at all. But coming back to this, Navika, Congress is a religion and it has gods and goddesses. And you know how difficult it is to reform religion. So this is not something that's going to happen in a day, but let me give you a stark example of how things can change, and they must change. And this is a very stark, I hope two of my very good friends out here on the panel wouldn't mind my taking this example. Navika, I've always believed that you mock and ridicule every ism except criticism. Now on your panel you have Mr. Sanjay Jha and you have Mr. Chaudhary. Do you remember when the farm laws were enacted and it was found out that in the Congress manifesto all three farm laws were there promised? Mr. Chaudhary supported Rahul Gandhi saying that these are black laws, whereas Mr. Sanjay Jha, also a congressman, supported Narendra Modi and said these are good laws. This is the thing. You don't have to find Prashant Kishore. That is the point I'm making. The reforms can be happening right this moment because it's in front of you. Just speak the truth.
And I will quote this senior leader many years ago from the Congress who told me, when I asked him, I said, why can't you get rid of the Gandhis? I mean, in a nice way. And his response was, they are the glue. Trust me, Fevicol is cheaper and more reliable. You don't need a glue in a political party. You need leadership. I'm a bit surprised, given Mr. Chaudhary's past intellectual heft. If there was no leadership crisis, 23 of your senior-most Congress people wouldn't feel betrayed or the way they felt. Number two, if there was no leadership crisis, you wouldn't have had even the opportunity to ask for a Prashant Kishore. If there was no leadership crisis, your person, Digvijay Singh, wouldn't be sleeping on the watch while Goa slipped out of your hands. If there was no leadership crisis, Rahul Gandhi would have been there, putting his head on the line, saying, it is my fault, I accept blame. Leadership is about courage. Leadership is not about taking a flight to Bangkok or Honolulu or wherever the hell you go. That is leadership, Mr. Chaudhary. You know it.
Though I cannot match his words, but the basic fact remains, however he projects, there is a leadership crisis within the party. Just there is a main principal difference between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. We are a democratic party wherein one man does not decide the fate of the Congress party in the entire country. But compared to that with the Bharatiya Janata Party, you have got one man, like a kingdom. He decides the entire strategy.
Well, let me tell you, there is no denying that the Congress party has failed in terms of being the marker for internal democracy. Last 22 years ago, you had an election for a Congress president. And I'll give you one difference between the BJP and the Congress, which I need to publicly acknowledge. The reason why Gaurav Bhatia's party will keep winning and the Congress party will probably keep losing is there is no hunger to win in the Congress. And you can only have a hunger to win and believe you can if you got a robust cadre, if you got a leader who inspires, if you got a strategy that has been collectively worked out, if you really have a passion for a contest. As I keep saying, the Congress gets into an election contest, the BJP gets it to win, we are just very happy to participate. So it's all a question of a mindset which brings you back to the point that the party becomes like the leader you had. And I think, Rahul has been a friend of mine. I like Rahul as a person, but I have to be honest about it. Rahul as a political brand has now gone very much, I think it's evaporated almost. And he needs to reinvent himself.
Take a break, Sanjay, honestly. Sometimes you don't mince your words, that was below the belt.
He's not taking a break, he's breaking the Congress party.
No, Sanjay Jha said, Rahul, my friend, you're referring to Rahul Gandhi.
Hanji.
See, that's why he's suspended. You can't call Rahul your friend. He must determine if he wants you to be his friend. It's the Raja or Rang ki kahani. Yeah. Many years ago, Amitabh Bachchan was asked, when will you make up with Sonia Gandhi? He says it's Raja or Rang ki kahani. Rang doesn't decide. Raja will decide when they make up.
Or Rani.
And that is the reality.
Chaudhary Sahab, I want to ask you a very simple question. Can I please do that?
Yeah, basically.
Yes, thank you. No, I in fact, on a very serious note, because he's very erudite and he's a very good friend, I mentioned this thing that Congress must stop banking on anti-incumbency. So I want to ask a very simple question to Mr. Chaudhary. This much trumpeted Nyay scheme, that would have actually changed the face of or lifted people out of poverty very fast. Why hasn't Congress implemented the Nyaya scheme in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh? It's a very simple question, Mr. Chaudhary.
Now, Mr. Anand, I think so you are ill-informed right here. We have already started a Nyaya scheme in Chhattisgarh. We have started a different form of Nyaya in Rajasthan also. We have started. Please get into the website and check it. It's all there for to see. Chhattisgarh also we are paying a handsome amount every month for those people who are not meeting the income criteria out there in Chhattisgarh. There are relief for farmers also out there. There are relief for unemployed people. There is particular amount is reaching to the women folk of the state also out there. So that done and dusted. Whatever you suggested, I accept. That Nyaya was a game changer for the Congress, as was the Manrega scheme in 2004. But then what happened with the Congress party, to be candid and honest, we lack in the communication strategy.